I am a heavy-bodied woman, but I did not know that this would happen to me today. I had just come out of the bath when the Pathan driver asked me to bend down and my legs started shaking. I knew that Pathans are fond of a woman's back hole. I set the position. When I looked back, my mouth fell open because that Pathan driver was. I belong to Saudi Arabia. I was born there too. My parents were Pakistanis, but I had never been to Pakistan. But because of my parents, my Urdu was very good. That is why I had all my employees from Pakistan. I was married and my marriage was about to be 10 years old. My husband mostly lived in Pakistan for business. We had shifted to Dubai a few years ago and my husband had started a business there and he would sometimes stay in Dubai and sometimes in Pakistan. In the absence of my husband Reza, I used to manage the business alone and also take care of the housework. We had hired all the servants who were trustworthy, so my husband had no problem leaving me alone. But our old driver Sher Khan had gone on vacation a few days ago, and that was why my husband had hired a new driver in his place. The driver's name was Zaman, and Zaman had also proven to be a good person. But today, suddenly, the way he spoke to me made me feel very scared. I had understood the meaning hidden in his eyes, and perhaps that was why I was scared because Reza was not there either, and at that time I was watching everything alone. For a moment, I thought that Zaman was not alone, or that there was someone behind him. I was a young woman, and it was very frightening for me that he was asking for an opportunity from me in solitude. Zaman had dropped me off at home, and I got out of the car and went inside, but my eyes were wandering here and there. My sixth sense always worked very quickly, so I was still trying to sense this thing around me. I was wondering if there was any danger to me. I went to my room and locked myself in my bed and started taking deep breaths. There was a big picture of Reza in front of me. I was very angry with Reza. Why did he need to employ a stranger in the house? We didn't know how much money he had in his intentions. And then Reza left me alone. Our old maid had been on vacation for the past 2 days and all these things had disturbed me. Lost in these thoughts, I called Reza to find out about his return. His secretary picked up the phone and said, "Reza sir is very busy. You will talk to me later." Hearing his secretary's voice, my body felt on fire. I was a wife, but he didn't take me anywhere with him. Rather, he was busy with his business and he himself traveled all over the world with his secretary. From the sounds of the songs and noise coming from behind, I had a very clear idea of where my husband would be at that time and what he would be doing. I got angry. I picked up the phone and slammed it against the wall. At that moment, the door to the room started ringing. As soon as I asked who it was, Zaman's voice came from outside. I didn't understand what he was doing at the door of my room at that time. Then I opened the door wearing my niqab. Zaman smiled when he saw me, so I became more withdrawn. He handed me my wallet and said, "BBG, you forgot your wallet in the car. Take care of your things." Seeing the wallet, I realized that he had not come here for any specific purpose, but had come to return my wallet. As soon as I took my purse and started to close the door again, she suddenly said again, "BBG, give me a chance, just look, Reza Sahib is not here. I will make you so happy that you will keep watching. No one will even know and your work will be done." If there was another chance, I would have reminded Zaman about his time. But at that time, the voice of Reza's secretary was echoing in my mind. I could not take a single step without Reza's permission and she used to indulge in pleasures behind me as she pleased. In anger, I decided to go against Reza and thought that if he can do everything on his own, then I am also capable of making some decisions in my life on my own. And anyway, he considered me very stupid. He would have easily tricked me and gone to Pakistan and lived his life as he pleased, and trapped me here in business in such a way that I would not even get a chance to know about his well-being. I decided in a moment that I would not only give Zaman a chance but also keep it a complete secret and would never let Raza know that I had done anything behind his back. If Raza could do whatever he wanted, why would I stay behind? Thinking this, I left the door of the room open and signaled Zaman to come in. I was completely alone at home at that time and this opportunity was very good for this. Raza had imposed Sultana Baji on me. She not only stayed with me the whole time in Raza's absence, but also told him every little thing about the house as soon as Raza came. Raza kept an eye on my every moment even when he was in Pakistan. My life with her was starting to feel like a prisoner, while I was unaware of a single moment of his. That's why I decided in that weak moment that I would choose a different path for myself and would no longer dance on Reza's cues. Zaman followed me into the room. I asked Zaman to first assure me that any work or conversation between him and me would not reach Reza. He smiled and said, "Trust me, baby, I will never tell anyone and I will make you happy in such a way that you will be amazed." I believed Zaman's words, so I removed the veil from my face and told Zaman, "Okay, I want to see him tonight. If I really feel that he is worthy of my trust or that I can move forward with him, then I will never back down." Zaman smiled at my words and looked at my face carefully. I didn't know what he wanted to find in my beautiful face. This was the first time I had shown my face to a non-man like this. Zaman's style had removed all my hesitation and I accepted Reza. Forgetting and not caring about what would happen when Reza found out, I had given Zaman a chance. How long would I tolerate Reza's indifference and disrespect? I had decided that I would live my life on my own terms and would not spend much time with Reza. As soon as I gave Zaman a chance, he really blew my mind. He alone proved to be equal to 7 men and that night was very surprising for me. Zaman had made everything he had said come true. I was very happy with Zaman and I was convinced that Zaman was the man with whose help I had to move forward in life. Reza's special servant Sultana Baji had gone on vacation for the first time and she had taken this vacation very suddenly and Zaman and I benefited the most from this vacation because there was no one to keep an eye on us or stop us. There was no one to tell Reza that I had given Zaman a place behind him. Just as Zaman had killed 7 men alone in one night, after showing me his power, I myself summoned him the next night. Zaman gave me a joy that I could not even describe. I took out the bundles of notes and placed them in front of him and he was also happy. When I promised him that if he would do my work like this, I would shower him with money, but the next night was very difficult for me because Zaman did something to me that night that I could not even imagine. I realized how powerful he was the second night. The first night, perhaps for some reason, he could not do what he did the second night. I was helpless in front of him, but he did not feel sorry for me. He had cursed me that I was no longer worthy of asking for water. Zaman had done something that I had never imagined. That night had passed like a doomsday for me. I had a thought in my heart that if only Reza had been around me, he would have saved me from Zaman because Zaman had descended to the level of cruelty. Knowing this, your hair would also stand on end. What Zaman did to me that night by taking advantage of Reza's absence, he had not even left me able to survive. When Zaman achieved his goal, he then slowly started telling me how he had done so much to me. How he had shown me the strength of 7 men in a single night, and Zaman's truth had taken my life. He had not suddenly come into my life as my driver, but his eyes had been on me for a long time. I thought that no one recognized me. This was my misunderstanding. Zaman had become familiar with my beautiful face a long time ago, and he had come to our house to do the work for the same reason, because he had his eyes on me and he wanted to get close to me. He wanted a close relationship with me, so that he could achieve his goal. The day he saw that neither Reza nor Sultana Baji was present, he took full advantage of this opportunity and deliberately said something to me so that I would give him a chance. I was also very angry at that time, and despite Reza's numerous explanations and prohibitions, I had trusted an unknown man. Reza started saying that he had seen my picture long ago, and then one day suddenly he saw me. It was like a few months ago that my health was a bit bad and I was going somewhere in connection with my business when I suddenly fainted on the way. When my old driver saw that I had fainted in the car, he immediately took me to the nearest hospital, and as soon as he wanted to get me out of the car and lay me on the stretcher, the veil came off my face and he saw my face. He was Zaman's friend and he immediately informed Zaman about me. Zaman had shown my pictures to his friend that he was looking for me. That one moment proved to be an eclipse in my life when Zaman he had found out where I lived and how he could reach me. He deliberately made a plan and fired his friend from his job and came to his place himself. The driver who introduced Zaman to my husband Raza was the same driver who had left our job. He was Zaman's close friend and colleague, and he did all this at Zaman's behest. Rather, slowly he got all the information about us, and when he saw the right opportunity, he asked me for an opportunity. I was scared and I did not understand why he was suddenly asking me for an opportunity. At first, I felt scared because we were running a big business. Raza had a lot of money and one mistake of mine could end everything. But as soon as I realized Raza's indifference, I decided the next moment that now I would also try to move forward in my life, and perhaps this was the worst decision of my life. Raza and I were about to get married for 2 years, but neither of us had children, nor could Raza have children, but Raza never wanted me to be a mother. I had never given up hope. She would have wasted my child. This had already made me sad. On top of that, Reza's amorous disposition. Reza was young and handsome. He was rich. Girls used to fly around him like butterflies. Reza was also very flirtatious. Wherever he went, he would definitely go to parties, clubs and dances. Along with business, he was also enjoying his life, and I was only looking after business. I wanted a child, but Reza did not let this wish of mine come true. Burning in this fire, I thought that I would separate my caravan and leave Reza in my life and move forward. That is why I trusted Zaman. Reza was in the business of smuggling drugs, and I was also an equal partner in his business. That day, when Zaman asked me for a chance, he assured me that he would live up to my hopes, and that is why I trusted him and gave him work. In fact, he did so much in that one night. I was amazed at how much smuggling my 7 men did together. Because it was very difficult, if not impossible, to evade the Dubai police and do this work secretly. My men were very experienced players. That's why they used to do this work. But Zaman had played a big game alone. But what did I know that a man who appeared to be a simple Pathan driver was so powerful? The next night, when he came to my room, he was not alone, but some Arab policemen were also with him. Not only was my house sealed, but I was arrested and taken to the police station. That same night, Reza also reached the airport and was also arrested from the airport. We were both husband and wife in police custody for the first time. Actually, my husband always used me to do all the business work and I used to hide in the niqab. I had never shown my face to anyone, that's why the police couldn't reach me. But Zaman was very clever and not only recognized me and caught me, but he also found out about Mir Asara's business in a single night. It turned out to be much faster than I thought. As soon as Reza found out that all this happened because of me and that I was to blame for our arrest, Reza came close to me to kill me. If the Arab police had not stopped him, he would probably have been crying in my absence because the law of Dubai was very strict and I knew what punishment I was going to get for this crime. My husband turned out to be a cunning person who had done all the business in my name and had given the business a face of mine. He had neither given me any happiness in married life nor had I been able to have the happiness of becoming a mother. Everything in my life was the same. It used to be as Reza wanted. When I had married Reza for love and I had tried to make this marriage work till the end, but Reza had become so used to luxury that every day he would take some beautiful girl as his secretary and go to Pakistan with her. If Reza had not kept this and that with me, perhaps I would never have trusted him in the times and told him about it. The police had traced every place where we were smuggling supplies. Many people had been caught. There was a very long business chain that had ended due to my mistake. I had given the police my entire record truthfully because I knew that it was not possible to escape from here now, and even if we had somehow managed to get out, Reza would have killed me with his own hands because I had ruined his business. Today I am sitting behind bars in a Dubai jail and am awaiting my sentence. My husband and I are going to be severely punished because we have done a lot. Zaman Pathan must have ruined the lives of many young boys and girls. But he was an Arab policeman and he had done his duty with full responsibility. Sometimes he would come inside the prison to meet me, but I am sitting behind bars in a Dubai prison and waiting for my sentence. My husband and I are going to be punished very severely because we have ruined the lives of many young boys and girls. Zaman Pathan must have ruined the lives of many young boys and girls. But he was an Arab policeman and he had done his duty with full responsibility. Sometimes he would come inside the prison to meet me, but I always turned my face away when I saw him. I gave him a chance and that one chance really changed my whole life. I had left my big bungalow and reached behind bars. Zaman had made me realize that the path I was following was completely wrong. Boys and girls were losing their lives due to fear and intimidation, and all this was happening only in my name. Zaman was right. In love with Reza, I had forgotten right and wrong, and in the end, I had suffered a great loss. I am awaiting my sentence and sitting behind bars. Please pray that God forgives my sins and my conscience is satisfied, because ever since Zaman awakened my conscience, it has become difficult for me to get through each moment.